I'm the artistic director of the Washington National Opera at the Kennedy Center, and I'm also the stage director of our opening production of Verdi's Aida. We are so excited to be rehearsing this opera. Even though we call it the ABC of opera, Aida, Bohème, Carmen, we are always enthralled to be rehearsing it. And so we're taking you today into our rehearsal studio here in Takoma Park, Maryland. This is where we put together all of our operas. We have a number of our offices here, our costume shop, and it's a chance for us in these great big studios to have dancers, chorus, soloists, music rehearsals, our young artist program, all in this one building. Here we rehearse with just piano, and later when we move to the Kennedy Center, we add the fine Kennedy Center Orchestra, and of course then we go on stage in the Opera House and add costumes, wigs, lighting, scenery, and everything else that comes together to make a big thrilling production. Here right now our forces are gathered. We have all of our principal cast members. The dancers are rehearsing in another studio. We even have the chorus in another studio, and we also have children dancers in this production. So the halls are alive with the sounds of music. Right now, I'm fortunate to be here rehearsing in this room with a conductor for this piece, Evan Rogister, who is here, who you'll see in 1 second. And on the piano is Michael Baitzer, our head of music. And with us is one of our two Aidas, Tamara Wilson, one of the finest American sopranos right now, who has sung this role of Aida around the world, and I am thrilled that she is here with us as we work on our new production. This production is designed by visual artist Retorna, and you can see a lot of his work now hanging in the Kennedy Center and in many of the windows around the Kennedy Center. Costumes by Anita Yavich, choreography by Jessica Lang, and lighting by Mark McCullough. But right now, we're going to work on one of the most famous arias of Aida. This aria is called Ritorna, vincitor. And this aria begins in the first scene of the opera. And one of the cruelest things that Verdi did, by the way, was give the tenor an aria in the first scene and the soprano an aria in the first scene that are both killers. And so I'm going to open up now and include my colleagues, Tamara Wilson. And Tamara and I are starting to work on staging this. She has gone through it musically with our conductor and has given notes and whatnot, but now she and I are figuring out what do you actually do during this aria. Can we talk about the aria for a second together? Mm-hmm. Just story-wise, what's going on in her head?
I think she's living in this world torn between what she should do and what her heart wants to do.
A great 19th century dilemma always.
Exactly.
Duty versus desire,
yeah,
I call it.
She has a duty to her father and her country, and then she has this enemy that she's fallen in love with, which was not supposed to happen, you know, kind of a thing. And at this particular part, she's debating whether or not she's going to choose this path or this path. And ultimately, it just turns into, you know what, I can't decide. I'm going to let the gods decide for me. They're not helping me. Never mind. That's kind of how I feel.
That's a good translation of the piece. So the famous title of it, Ritorna, vincitor, is something almost a rhetorical question, because at this point, right before this, the king, Ramphis, who's a kind of maniacal priest, and Radames has been named the head warrior, are going off to battle. And they have said, and Amneris, who you are being a slave to, has said to him, come back as a victor. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, come back as a victor? Oh my God, that would mean he would destroy my people. Yeah. But also, if he is victorious, then perhaps we could get together. And that's where the great conflict of duty versus desire comes together. Yeah. So we're here in this room, which is suggestive of, this is kind of the war room, mm-hmm. the first scene here where all the chorus men who are, in a sense, in the Egyptian army and are going out to fight the foreigners, have all been in here and have now just vacated the room. So all this masculine energy dumps out of here. I want you to follow them kind of out. Okay. Up to here, which is, these are some big columns, actually. and they've left a lot of their maps and paraphernalia on the desk. And just the recitative, I think, has to be very internal and very thinking, oh my God, how could this possibly be, until she realizes that she's actually has even said Ritorna, vincitor.
Yeah.
All right. And then in the scene before, when Radames has his aria Celestial Aida, which you didn't hear, and if you had heard, you probably would feel real bad because you know how much he loves you. That's kind of his space over there. So I'd love it if the first part, by the time you get to that, if you could end up in his area, just to sort of remind us back on that. Should we just,
El Amor Mio, that part?
El Amor Mio,
Okay.
that would be great.
Cool.
And then he has this, I think, just looking at these props, you know, there's this map, which is, of course, your country, which I think they've had some sort of battle plan on it. Just, I mean, not that the audience is going to see that, but just that it gives a suggestion of it. All right? And then I think once we leave that, we can then get it, you know, she has no one to ask but the gods, right?
Yeah.
So I think it goes into a very different feeling there. Should we try a version of it and see how we end up?
Sure thing.
All right, let's try it. So everybody's running out. Huge cascades of chorus running out, exiting, leaving you in total shock. Can we do the play out?
Yeah, Michael, let's take it from B, actually. Okay.
Ritorna vincitor, e dai un labbro
Bravo.
Not too shabby. Bravo, sweetie. That was great. Well, there's some things we can fix, some things we should look at.
Absolutely. Do you want me to take a few, or do you want to?
Yeah. Why don't you look at a few things together, and then we'll fix a couple of things.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello and how happy I am that you're able to join in on our process today. As you can hear, we're already working on an extremely high level, so the type of criticism that Francesca and I are giving is only constructive criticism, and it's a sort of a luxury to be able to work with a singer of this incredible quality. I think, Tammy, what is most fascinating about the way Verdi's writing at this time and what happens in this aria are all the different possibilities of color and the way that form is sort of secondary, exactly. There's so many different small moments and small different qualities that we have in this piece. What I'm wondering is, could we even take it straight from the beginning?
Yeah.
And see if we can find spots that we even start really in a much more piano color and then gain in energy. For instance, I think if we could start a dal mio labbro, even softer, and really build energy into empia parola.
Sure.
Okay? Good. Maybe Michael, just from the 3 before Scena Romanza.
maybe, you
Yeah,
know what?
absolutely.
Maybe we're not going to share this with everybody.
Okay.
We're going to do it with just us.
Okay.
Because we want everybody to come buy a ticket.
Okay,
All right.
that was your teaser.
Okay, that was your teaser, all right? We're going to dig into this a little bit more because we open on September 9th at the Kennedy Center in the Opera House. We run through September 23rd. We have two amazing casts, two wonderful Aidas, Tamara, who you've just seen, and Leah Crocetto, and a host of phenomenal singers in a production that is beautiful, classical, full of dance, movement, and gorgeous music, right?
It's such
So,
a privilege to get to do this piece.
so please join us. Thank you so much, and you're going to see her. Thank you very much.